You're listening to CBC Online at cbchs.org.
3-2-1, CBC Online. We're visiting with CBC soccer coach Terry Michler. Coach, we came off of a pretty emotional victory last night, 4-2. Against a very good Marquette team, a team that really gave it all to you. Talk about last night's game, winning this district final.
Oh, it's huge. I told the kids, and I mean, no problems for me to say that was probably the most dramatic district final game I've been in all my years. That's saying a lot because there's a lot of years and a lot of district finals. But it was a funny game because we had the early part of it. They came right back at us after half. The momentum shifted. We kind of stood our ground, got back in the game, took over the game, won the game. They were just distraught. I mean, Marquette didn't see any way they were going to lose the game after the game. They had a hard time with it, and credit to our guys. I mean, they stayed in there. It's an easy game to have the momentum get away from you and struggle to get it back, but our guys did a great job.
On the telecast, we noticed that right after that second goal, which is a little bit of a fluke goal, but certainly it did count. Noticed that there's a little gathering at the guys. They really kind of started rallying each other, and before you know it, they were able to get that third goal. How important is it that on-field coaching? I mean, you're on the sideline. There's only so much you can do. You really rely on those guys to get to kind of keep everybody calm. Maybe talk about that.
Absolutely critical, and that's where your leadership, your seniors, your captains come into play. They're the ones. It's their season. Their season's on the line. So they're the ones that want to make it work, and they got to get the message out to everybody else. So it's good that they did that, and it doesn't surprise me at all because that's kind of the way the group is. They've taken over a little bit of leadership, and and the other kids have responded to it. So it's a good give and take there.
You've been doing this a long time. Have you ever had to face the defending state champions in the first round and the number 3 team in the area of the second round?
That's what I say. No, I mean, it's been the most dramatic. And as I said afterwards and said in the paper, we feel really lucky to get through it because our district had three district champions in it without a doubt. Now I feel like we got a little responsibility to go a little ways and let Smet and Marquette feel like, they were just as good and they could have went just as far. So
we come back on Tuesday for the sectional playoff against Lafayette. What kind of, have you scouted Lafayette? I know they got a great program. They're always kind of producing good athletes, but what are you expecting?
I haven't seen them. I know just from the past playing them. I know their coach a little bit. I know they'll make the game hard for us. They'll probably pack it in and play on the break a little bit, try and get a free kick, a restart or something. So we're going to have to be good with the ball and patient, and just wait for our chances. And when we get them, we got to take them. It's not going to be an open game. Last night was a very open game. I don't see it being an open game Tuesday. I see them trotting back and trying to hold their ground, and we got to try to find a way through it. So we'll work on it.
I know this is really nothing new on this script, but again, you got three of the conference rivals here in the MCC. 4 are still alive. CBC, Chaminade, Slough, and Vianney. Again, the conference is really becoming the class of the state. How difficult when you see each other so early. It's a little demoralizing when one has to go home because the brand is so good in the MCC.
I think you go a little further. I think the conference is the class of the country. I don't think there's a conference in the country that can rival what we have in our MCC for soccer. When teams come in for the Gateway Classic, Chaminade is in the showcase games. They always do well against nationally ranked teams. We've held our own with everybody and done well. We won our bracket this year. Vianney usually does pretty well. Slough's done okay. Everybody just met. So all of us do well. So yeah, it's. Well, you know what? If we get through Lafayette, there's a good possibility our next game will be Vianney again. That'll be game number 4 with Vianney this year. Chaminade's got to get through Slough today, or Saturday rather, and see if they go on. So yeah, it's tough. But I kind of told our kids as we got into the year that as much as I was critical of our schedule all year because it was very demanding and it was brutal. I mean, it was the most ridiculous schedule I ever had to play. But I think it's helping us now. So we're very battle tested, as they say, and ready to go.
I know one theme that you talk about a lot is the concept of bouncing back and dealing with adversity. And certainly this year with your captains going down and injuries, and certainly the schedule, as you mentioned, was just brutal. Night after night after night, you guys were taken to the field. So just dealing with adversity, and especially this time of year, that probably was a good lesson for you guys.
Absolutely. I mean, we went through, kind of like a lot of changing of the seasons, if you will. We had a lot of different lineups, and we had success with most of them probably. I think now we finally really settled on our real lineup the last couple of games going into the district. You know, I just kind of took the position of, okay, we need to get the best guys on the field, and where do we need to put them, and you know, if we're going to make it or not, it's got to be with the best guys. You know, so. But in saying that, everybody else has played an awful lot this year, and a lot of guys played in some very important situations and stepped up and did a good job. So, you know, we're a lot deeper now than we were at the beginning of the year. That's for sure. You know, I can go down the bench and call on people, and in certain situations and in certain roles, I'm confident that they can do a good job.
And for you personally, you know, and talk about the season from your standpoint. You dealt with a little adversity with some of the players, you know, choosing to play on the academy, and that certainly hurt our school probably more than anybody else. But you guys played through it, and you were able to tell the guys on the team that they were the team. So talk about just your growth as a coach. That was kind of a curveball.
Yeah. You know, it's a good question, and it's a good opportunity for me because, you know, as I go into my 42nd year here of coaching this team, it's like, okay, what hoop do you still got to jump through? Well, here's the new hoop. And for me, it was kind of neat because it's like, okay, you know what? Here's a real challenge. Here's a challenge. What can I do with this group of kids, you know, minus the group that aren't here? You know, we focus only on the kids that are here, obviously. And so at the beginning of the year, I set the tone with the kids right off the bat. I said, here's what we're going to do this year. Here's our goal. As a team, I want us to be the best of the rest, the best of everybody lost players except Chaminade. So our goal is to be the best of the rest, and then when we get a shot at Chaminade, beat them. So, you know, that's the goal is to, and then when we did it, I mean, we managed to hold a number 2 ranking all year behind Chaminade and played them very close, and they're a very good team. But you know what, I'll put my team on the field right now against anybody, and I think we're ready to go.
I was going to say that really has been a bit of a transformation for these guys all season. It's been just a build-up from day one. So this is kind of the result of a lot of hard work.
Well, you know, the learning curve always has its dips and peaks and valleys. You know, and we had some highs and lows. But I think now everybody's coming together with the realization that, hey, you know what, it just might work. You know, we might need to listen to this guy a little bit more, and maybe he can help us get somewhere. You know, and their effort and, you know, whatever organizational input I can make with it, I think it's gotten to be a good combination. I think they're starting to believe in each other and believe in what we're trying to do and how we're trying to do it and why we're trying to do it. So far so good. We'll see if we can keep it going.
And finally, you know, the last 2 games against DeSmet and against Marquette had early starts, early goals, really quick into the game. How does that change your philosophy from an attacking sort of style to maybe laying back or keeping it in the midfield? Did that change you guys at all?
No, you know, I've got 10 goals per game that I use every year with the kids, and start off with high intensity. Start off like you're losing by 3 goals, and go get those goals back. You know, score first and score early and score again, and get a shutout. Those are our key goals right there. You know, win both halves. Those are key goals for us. So yeah, I mean, we've gotten off the snag lightning fast the last couple of games, and you know what? It puts the other team back on their heels. You know, you don't expect to get goals that early all the games, but you do. It is important if you can score first. That sets the tone. But this group, you know, has been able to rebound very well with giving up the first goal. Usually my teams do very well when they score the first goal. I mean, their winning percentage is incredibly high, and the statistic is ridiculous. But not so comparable when we give up the first goal. This group has really battled back. The only games we've lost when we gave up the first goal were games we didn't score. So if we score, you know, we're going to win. We haven't lost a game that we didn't score.
And again, the opportunity to actually play the district tournament here at home, and you're going to get the sectional game here at home. You know, got to be easier for the fans to come out, so that's got to mean a lot to the guys that now you're starting to get the crowds you kind of been wanting all year.
Yeah, you know, there was a nice crowd last night. Sometimes I'm not so sure if it works for us or against us at home. Sometimes it's nice just to show up somewhere, you know, without that added pressure and just play. But, you know, we got through 2 really big games here. We had a good Gateway Classic here. So I think this year this group's, you know, taken to the home field, and it's been kind of a friendly friend of ours. So we're working for us right now.
Again, that's CBC coach Terry Michler. CBC in the sectional playoffs here on Tuesday night, taking on Lafayette right here at Clem Field. So, Coach, we'll catch up with you next time, and good luck.
Thanks, Rob.
CBC, Men for Tomorrow, Brothers for Life.